Okay, good morning and welcome back to ProAm-Garage. Today's going to be a little bit different because I'm having a tidy up. So I'll give you a brief rundown. I've been in this building for the last 6 years, or just over 6 years. And now when I moved from the old building into the new building, it wasn't so bad, but since I've sort of grown over the years and accumulated more tools and more equipment and all that sort of stuff, I've kind of overrun the place and I haven't had storage solutions. So recently I got a whole bunch of pallet racking. Oh, sorry, Benny. If you can see up there's a whole bunch of pallet racking. Now everything's semi-organized over there. Where I am right now is in the fabrication room. And then last week I went and bought this cabinet. And then obviously filled all of the stuff with stuff. So now every drawer has its stuff in it. And surprisingly enough, everything in this cabinet was actually in this room. So now aside from this area needing to be tidied up on later on today or tomorrow, it's pretty much all done. So what I'm going to do today is clean up my other side of the fabric or my machining area. I have a mill and a lathe, and again it's one of those areas that has plagued me from the outset of getting the equipment. Now, I had never planned to have a mill or a lathe. It just so happened that they turned up at the right price, and they also came with a massive amount of tooling. So, like I said, I've struggled with that since day dot, and today I'm going to try and get some organization in that department. Now, there was a toolbox in that corner where my welder is. That is now over in the machining area, and yeah, today hopefully I can start to get things organized and give everything a place and get things off the floor and all that sort of thing. So look, it's going to be a work in progress, but at least I've got a starting point, right? So the aim of the game is to get these areas to the point where there's places for everything. So there is no excuses for nothing to go back into its home. That way everything keeps tidier and more sort of, worker friendly and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, I struggle with the lack of storage that I have. So things tend to get pretty messy. And then, they get to the point where things are overwhelming. So you just leave it and just deal with the mess. So I don't want to be in that place anymore. So here I am trying to make a difference in my day-to-day life. And it also saves a lot of time in not having to go find things. So if something's used, you can put it back in its place. And then when you go to look for it next time, it should always be there. So there are other aspects of the shop that definitely need to tidy up and an organization and all that sort of stuff, but piece by piece. So this is a pretty busy shop. There's only 2 of us here at the moment. So, we could spend days cleaning, and yes, although that would improve productivity, it's a working workshop. So, I can't afford to spend 3 days cleaning the place up because then I lose too much money. So it's one of those catch-22 things. So today is a public holiday here in New Zealand. And it's Queen's birthday weekend, and I've taken the opportunity today, being Monday, to come in here and just try and make a dent at least. So I would like to see me getting some fairly decent headway. In saying that, let's go have a look at the fabrication area. Okay, here we are. Here is a toolbox from the fabrication room. Here is the bench. So this bench does have stuff in it, but the drawers aren't very operational. They're very old. They're falling apart. That top one that's sticking out, the front of it falls off all the time. But as you can see, this has just been strewn parts everywhere. There's no real home for anything. On top of the lathe here, this has always bugged me. No room to put anything. So what happens is tools get they get lost, they fall off, they get broken, and all that sort of stuff. So this toolbox here is going to go in this little cubby hole here, and that will alleviate all of the need to have these tools, all of these bits, all of these handy things all over the place. And that will also give me more motivation to keep the place clean. and anyone else that uses this equipment will have to keep it clean as well. So yeah, obviously there's lots that need to change. Behind me we've got the wall. This is the wall into my engine room. Now I'm gonna be replacing these crappy brackets. I've actually got some big steel racking that I'm going to put up on here. The racking used to be behind where the pallet racking is, but obviously that can no longer fit there. So I'm going to be putting those up on the wall just so that I can get all of the steel and aluminium that's currently in several different places into one place. Now we do a lot of machining on the lathe here, so that's why I want to move all of the round bar stock and tubing and everything to here rather than where it is in the fabrication area for the most part, or at least keep some here and some there. It just makes life a lot easier. So yeah, I'm going to go and start getting things organized, and let's get this metal racking cut up because I have to shorten everything, re-drill it and all that sort of stuff. So let's rip into that, and then I'll give you some time lapse, eh? Now I'm cutting on this bench because I couldn't fit it in my saw. So here we are. Alright, that's one down and I've got two more to go. I'll get these ends drilled as well, and shouldn't take me too long. So I will see you back when we're all done. Okay, so I've got all three of them cut down. I've even drilled the holes on that end, on all of them. Now I've also gone out to a local hardware store and got the hardware. I'm going to be running these 8mm or 14 gauge by 50mm screws. These will go into the wood in the wall. So I've pre-drilled all the holes to 8mm because that's what size they are. And now when these were on the wall behind the racking, this was fine in terms of the length, because we had heaps and heaps of steel racked up on it. But because this is going to be above a bench, I need it to be a little bit more workable. So what I've done is I've cut them all, I've marked, and I'm about to cut them all to the same length, which is 300mm, which coincidentally is the same length as these ones on, here. So I'm going to go rip into getting these cut, all three of them, and then we can chuck them on the wall. Now notice I went ahead and just dressed every one of these straight after I cut them. I always do this because it just helps you avoid slicing your fingers open, just to keep all the burrs off and stuff like that. Because obviously when you're handling steel and whatnot, yeah, you cut them, they get quite sharp. Anyway, that's what it's going to look like on the bench. Plenty of room for activities. If I need to, I will put caps on them, much like these guys, just to stop anything sliding off. But these are angled, so that sort of means that they're going to naturally want to fall back anyway, instead of being straight and fall off. So yeah, I'm going to get the rest cut and let's get them put on the wall. Alright, so here we go. We are in the fabrication area, and as you can see, there's a lot of shit to move before I can actually get to there. So to do this safely, I'm just going to start moving everything out. I might even just quickly maneuver the lathe into place so I can put the toolbox. That way I can put the toolbox straight in there and then just get this underway once I've got this racking up. So there's a bunch of steel and stuff over here that you can't see that needs to go on this racking once it's up. So yeah, but let's get this all tidied up. Well, not all tidied up, but let's get it into a workable area so that I can stand on the bench and stuff like that if need be without risking my life. So yeah, I'm going to get ripping into that right now, and hopefully it won't take me too long. Okay, so as you can see, even in that short time, I've already made a decent dent, and getting this stuff organised on the wall better, getting this stuff off the floor, you can already start to see, you can already see it starting to take shape. So I am going to have to cut some of this steel down or move it around or whatever, but at least for now, it's out of the way, no one's going to get hurt on it. I can now look at cleaning up the rest of the mess that's in here. Get the lathe all cleaned up, get my, I've got like a tub that I put all of my swarf and stuff into, so I've got to find a home for that, and that way I can get all of the likes of this alloy plate, I can put that into a new home, probably in the fabrication area, because I've just got a lot of stuff lying around that I basically didn't even know that I had. So now that I can get everything back into order, I can have better organisation. I'll have a better idea of what I've got and what I don't, because it's be visual rather than before everything dotted all over the place. But yeah, slowly making small steps to get this place looking good. So I'm going to go grab some lunch now because I haven't eaten. And then I'm going to get stuck into cleaning the rest of it up. So see you back soon. So now that I've had an adequate lunch break, had some food, had a bit of rest, now I can get stuck into the rest of this. So I would like to say, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, this place will actually start to look fairly functional. So without waffling on, I'm just going to get into it, and hopefully it doesn't take me too long. So catch you soon. Alright, and there we have it. We're all done. So I do have to just do a little bit more organising in that toolbox, but that can come at a later date. But for the most part, she's all tidy. So I have no complaints with how it's looking so far. What do you reckon, Benny? No complaints? Nice and clean for your little feet. So the idea is to try and keep this as close to this as possible in terms of cleanliness and tidiness. Now that we have storage of the tools, I do need to go through all of that cabinet over there, and then hopefully look at transferring it to maybe this bench over here or something like that. I am hoping to get another cabinet like what I've got in the fabrication room for out here, and that will that will help keep everything even tidier again. So yeah, because we've got these cupboards here, they're not really utilised, the drawers are pretty old, so yeah. Anyway, so that can come later. For the most part, she's all organised. I can work in this area now without having to trip over things and lose tools in the back of the lathe, etc. There's some organisation in the toolbox next to it, so can't really complain. So that's pretty much it for the day. I'm going to go carry on with the rest of my day, my public holiday. Yeah, but thanks for watching. I hope you liked what I've done today. It's a little bit different, but yeah, give us some comments, what do you think, and we'll talk to you soon.